There comes a moment in life when time no longer feels infinite, when the rush of youth fades into quiet reflection, when the mirror becomes more than just a reflection, it becomes a reminder. A reminder of every laughter line etched into your skin, of every season you have lived, of every dream you once carried. And in that stillness, in that quiet moment, a question lingers. Is this all that's left? You hear it in the hush of an empty room. You feel it in the silence between conversations. You see it in the faces of those who look at you differently now, not with admiration, but with a subtle, almost invisible shift. A glance that carries something unspoken. A hesitation that whispers, "You are not as strong as you once were." And that's when the fear creeps in, the fear of slowing down. The fear of losing yourself in the folds of time. The fear of becoming an afterthought in a world that moves too fast to wait for you. It is a quiet fear, a patient fear, one that does not announce itself loudly, but settles in the small spaces of your mind. The first time you feel it, it's a passing thought, a flicker in the mind, like a candle on the verge of going out. But then it returns, again and again. Until one day you wake up and realize that the world feels different. Not because it has changed, but because something inside you has. Is this the beginning of the end? You wonder if your body will betray you, if your legs will no longer carry you the way they used to, if your mind will begin to slip, if names will fade from memory, if the vibrant energy of life will dim into a routine of waiting for something to happen. And then another question emerges, one that is far more terrifying. What if the best years are already behind me? You see, this is the silent war of aging. It is not fought with weapons or strength, but with thoughts, with doubts, with the creeping suspicion that your time is running out and all has already moved on. But what if everything you've been told about aging is wrong? What if the years ahead hold more power, more vitality, more wisdom than the ones behind you? What if growing older is not a decline, but an evolution? What if right now, at this very moment, you are standing at the threshold of the most extraordinary years of your life, and you don't even know it yet? The truth is, the secret to staying healthy and active in your 60s, 70s and beyond is not about fighting time. It is about understanding it. It is about stepping into this phase of life with intention, with knowledge, with purpose. Because aging is not the enemy, fear is. And tonight, we will dismantle that fear. We will unravel the myths. We will expose the truth, and we will unlock the power that has always been within you. Because this is not the end. This is where your story truly begins. What if everything you've believed about aging was a lie? What if time is not your enemy, but your greatest ally? For decades, we've been told that aging is a slow descent, a gradual fading into weakness, frailty, and dependence. We are conditioned to believe that our bodies will betray us, that our minds will wither, that our best days are behind us. But science tells a different story. In the last century, researchers have uncovered something extraordinary, something that changes everything we thought we knew about aging. Not only is it possible to stay strong, vibrant, and active well into your 60s, 70s, and beyond, but it is within your control. The difference between a life filled with energy and one marked by decline is not just in genetics. It is not just luck. It is choice, and it all begins with understanding the science of aging. The Harvard study on adult development, the real secret to a long, healthy life. Imagine a study that began nearly a century ago, a study that tracked the lives of hundreds of men, year after year, decade after decade, watching them grow, change, and age. In 1938, Harvard University launched what would become the longest-running study on human happiness and longevity. The question was simple: what makes a person truly thrive in life? At first, researchers assumed the answer would be money, success, prestige. They thought the men who had the most material wealth would be the ones who lived the longest, happiest lives. They were wrong. As the years went on, a pattern emerged, one that could not be ignored. The single greatest predictor of long life and good health was not wealth, nor social status, nor even physical fitness. It was relationships. The men who maintained deep, meaningful connections with friends, family, and their community were not only happier, but they lived longer, healthier lives. This wasn't just a coincidence. It was a revelation. Because loneliness, they found, is just as dangerous as smoking. just as lethal as obesity, just as destructive as a lifetime of bad habits. The blue zones, where people live beyond 100, and how you can too. There are places in the world where people regularly live beyond 100 years old, places where aging is not feared, but celebrated. These places, known as the blue zones, hold the secrets to longevity, and they share 5 common habits that defy what we thought we knew about growing old. 1. They move every day. They don't lift weights in a gym. They don't run marathons, but they move constantly. They walk, they garden, they dance. They live in environments that encourage motion, not sitting, because movement is not just about exercise, it is about staying engaged with life. 2. They eat wisely. There is no single anti-aging food, no magic pill, but there is a pattern. These centenarians eat mostly plants, little sugar, and stop eating before they are full. Their diet is not a restriction, it is a ritual of nourishment. 3. They have strong social circles. They belong to tight-knit communities. They spend time with people who lift them up, who share their joys and burdens. Because who you surround yourself with matters. Your body listens to the energy of those around you, and the science proves it. 4. They have a sense of purpose. There is a word in Okinawa, Japan, ikigai. It means reason for being. In the blue zones, people do not retire to sit and wait for life to end. They wake up every day with purpose, whether it's taking care of grandchildren, running a small shop, or sharing their wisdom. Because having a reason to wake up in the morning keeps the mind sharp and the body strong. 5. They manage stress differently. In these regions, people experience stress just like the rest of the world, but they have daily habits that allow them to let go, whether through meditation, prayer, time in nature, or simply slowing down. Because chronic stress is a silent killer, and learning to manage it is the difference between a long life and a short one. The brain. Why it's never too late to stay sharp. There is a myth that after a certain age, the brain begins to decline, and there is nothing we can do about it. That memory loss is inevitable. That cognitive decline is just a part of aging. But neuroscience has proven otherwise. Your brain is capable of forming new connections at any age. This is called neuroplasticity, the ability of the brain to reorganize itself, to learn, to adapt. Studies show that people who engage their minds daily, through learning, reading, solving puzzles, playing instruments, can protect themselves from dementia, even well into their 90s. And the way you think about aging matters. In a study conducted by Yale University, people who had a positive attitude about aging lived 7.5 years longer than those who viewed it negatively. Because the way you see yourself shapes the way your body responds. The body may age, but the spirit remains timeless. Your choices today shape your health tomorrow. So what does this mean for you? It means that growing older does not mean growing weaker. It means that your future is not dictated by your past. It means that you have the power, right now, to shape the years ahead. With every step you take, with every meal you choose, with every relationship you nurture, you are deciding what kind of life you will live. And the most beautiful part? It is never too late to start. Not at 60, not at 70, not even at 90. Because health is not just a number, it is not a countdown, it is not a clock ticking toward an end. It is a decision, a commitment to yourself, a promise to live, not just exist. Because aging is not losing time, it is gaining wisdom. And wisdom, when used well, is the most powerful force of all. So tell me, what choice will you make today? It is about what you will still be able to do tomorrow. The power of consistency, small habits, big results. The key to staying strong as you age is not intensity, it is consistency. It is not about pushing yourself to extremes, it is about showing up for yourself every day. 5 minutes of stretching, 10 minutes of walking, a few moments of strength training, because movement is like a savings account for your future. Every small effort you make today adds up to a stronger, healthier tomorrow. Mindset matters, the beliefs that shape your body. Science has proven that what you believe about aging directly impacts how you age. If you believe you are too old to be strong, your body will follow. If you believe you are capable of movement, your body will respond. Because strength is not just physical, it is mental. And the strongest thing you can do today is decide that your body still has more to give. A challenge for you. Starting today, commit to movement. Walk around the block. Stretch your arms overhead. Stand up and sit down from a chair 10 times. Do something that reminds your body it is still capable. Because the moment you stop moving is the moment your body starts to let go. But the moment you start again, that is the moment you take your strength and your future back into your own hands. So tell me, what movement will you choose today? It is about ensuring that you can still do it tomorrow, next year, and a decade from now. Stretching and yoga, the key to moving without pain. There is a moment in life when bending down to tie your shoes suddenly feels harder than it used to. Your joints feel stiff, your back aches, your muscles don't move as easily as before. And you wonder, is this just aging? But it's not aging, it's lack of movement. The body is like a river. When it flows, it stays fluid, adaptable, strong. But when it stops moving, it becomes rigid, stuck, and fragile. And this is why stretching and yoga are so powerful. They are not just about flexibility. They are about teaching your body how to move without resistance. They are about reducing inflammation, improving balance, and preventing falls, because a single fall can change everything. But the best part? It is never too late to restore movement to your body. Studies show that people in their 70s, 80s, and even 90s can improve flexibility and mobility within weeks of regular stretching. Because stiffness is not a permanent state, it is a lack of movement. And the more you move, the freer you become. Dancing and swimming, the most enjoyable way to stay young. Who said exercise has to feel like a chore? Some of the longest living people in the world dance every single day. Because dancing is not just movement, it is joy in motion. It engages the brain, it keeps the joints healthy. It connects the mind and body in a way that nothing else can. And when you dance, you are not just exercising, you are celebrating life. The same goes for swimming. It is one of the best exercises for joint health, heart health, and mental well-being. It takes the pressure off the body while still keeping you active. And it is proof that aging does not mean stopping, it means adapting. The most important lesson: the body was made to move. Every single step you take is a signal to your body that you are still here. Every single movement is a reminder that you are still in control. Your body was not meant to deteriorate. Your muscles were not meant to weaken. Your joints were not meant to stiffen. Your body simply responds to what you ask of it. If you sit still, it learns to stay still. If you move, it learns to move. So the real question is not, can I still be strong? The question is, will I give my body the chance to prove that it still is? Because it is never too late, not at 60, not at 70, not at 80. Your body is still waiting for you to ask more of it. And when you do, it will respond. Because movement is life. And as long as you are still moving, you are still living. So what will you choose? The body may age, but the mind, your mind, has the power to grow stronger with time. For centuries, people have believed that mental decline is an inevitable part of aging, that forgetfulness is natural, that slowing thoughts, lost memories, and fading clarity are simply the price of growing old. But that is not the truth. Because science has proven something extraordinary, something that changes everything we thought we knew about the aging brain. Your brain is not fixed, it is not destined to weaken. Your brain is alive. It is growing, adapting, reshaping itself every single day. It is called neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to rewire itself, to form new connections, to keep learning and evolving no matter how many years you have lived. And that means one thing: you are not losing your mind, you are shaping it. And the choices you make, starting today, will determine whether your mind will remain sharp, strong, and vibrant, or whether it will fade. Because mental clarity is not lost with age. It is lost through neglect. The truth about memory loss, what no one tells you. We have been told that memory loss is a natural part of aging, that forgetting things, names, dates, moments, is just how the brain works as we grow older. But science tells a different story. Studies show that only 1 in 8 older adults experiences significant cognitive decline. The rest? They keep their minds sharp. Not by accident, not by luck, but by choice. Because the brain, just like the body, must be exercised, it must be challenged, it must be used. And when it is, something incredible happens. New neural connections form. Old pathways are strengthened, memory improves, focus sharpens, creativity expands. And the brain, your brain remains powerful, capable, and full of life. Brain-boosting habits. How to keep your mind sharp for life. If you want a strong body, you move it. If you want a strong brain, you challenge it. And the most powerful ways to keep your mind sharp are simple, proven, and completely within your control. 1. Lifelong learning. The habit that rewires your brain. The moment you stop learning is the moment your brain begins to slow down. But the moment you engage your mind through books, writing, music, or new skills is the moment your brain begins to thrive again. Learning does not end at 20. It does not stop at 50. It does not disappear at 70. In fact, some of the sharpest minds in history continued learning well into their later years. Leonardo da Vinci kept notebooks full of new ideas and discoveries into his 60s. Benjamin Franklin was still inventing at 70. Grandma Moses didn't start painting until she was 78. Because the brain is not meant to sit idle, it is meant to explore, to discover, to stay curious. And when you feed it new information, it rewards you with clarity, sharpness, and resilience. 2. Puzzles and games. Strengthen your mental muscles. Just as lifting weights builds physical strength, solving puzzles builds cognitive strength. Crosswords, Sudoku, chess, memory exercises, these are not just games, they are workouts for your mind. They keep your brain engaged, active, and sharp. Because every time you challenge your mind, you are telling it, keep going, keep growing. 3. Healthy diet. Food that fuels the mind. The brain is a machine, and like any machine, it runs on fuel. What you eat determines how well your brain functions. The best brain foods? Omega-3 fatty acids, found in fish, these keep brain cells strong. Antioxidants, found in berries, these protect against cognitive decline. Leafy greens, spinach and kale fuel the brain with essential nutrients. Because food is not just for the body, it is for mental clarity. And every meal is a choice, one that can either nourish your mind or drain it. Number 4, deep sleep and rest. The brain's reset button. Most people think of sleep as just rest, but in reality, sleep is when the brain repairs itself. During deep sleep, your mind does something extraordinary. It clears out toxins, strengthens memories, and reboots itself for the next day. But here's the problem. As people age, many lose sleep. And without sleep, the brain suffers. Focus weakens, memory fades, creativity declines. That is why deep, restorative sleep is one of the greatest gifts you can give your mind. Because every hour of rest is an hour of renewal. And a well-rested mind is a sharp mind. Your mind is like a garden. What you plant will grow. Think of your mind as a garden. Whatever you plant, knowledge, curiosity, joy will grow. But if you neglect it, if you stop feeding it new experiences, if you stop challenging it with new ideas, weeds will take over. Doubt, forgetfulness, confusion. And that is when the mind weakens, not because of age, but because it has been left unfed. But here's the truth. It is never too late to start planting again. It is never too late to reignite your mind, and the more you feed it, the sharper, stronger, and clearer it will become. Because your mind is not fading. It is waiting for you to wake it up. So what will you plant today? Emotional well-being and social connection. The hidden secret to longevity aging is not just about the body. It is not just about the mind. It is about the heart. Because if there is one thing that determines how long you will live, how happy you will be, and how fulfilling your years will feel, it is this: the strength of your relationships. Science has proven that loneliness is as harmful to health as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. Let that sink in. Being alone, feeling disconnected, having no one to talk to. It is not just painful, it is deadly. Because human beings are not meant to live in isolation. We are meant to connect, to laugh, to share stories, to belong to something bigger than ourselves. And the longest living people in the world, the centenarians, the ones who live past 100, not only stay active and eat well, they prioritize relationships. They build social circles that uplift them. They spend time with friends, family, and communities that remind them, you are not alone. You are valued. You are needed. And that feeling, being needed, is what keeps the heart beating strong. So if you want to live longer, live connected. Call an old friend, join a group, surround yourself with people who bring you joy. Because no matter how strong your body is, no matter how sharp your mind remains, without love, without companionship, without connection, life loses its meaning. And your heart, it thrives on meaning. So tell me, Who will you reach out to today? The heart is more than just a muscle. It is the keeper of your joys, your regrets, your love, and your longing. And as the years pass, it is not just physical health that matters. It is emotional strength that shapes the quality of your life. Because a life without connection, without purpose, without gratitude, is not truly a life. And the good news, you have the power to fill your heart again, even now, even in this season of life. Because it is never too late to reconnect, to rediscover, to renew your sense of belonging. How to stay emotionally strong and fulfilled. 1. Nurture friendships, the medicine of connection. There is a kind of healing that no pill, no doctor, no treatment can provide. It is the healing of laughter shared with an old friend, the comfort of a phone call that lasts longer than expected, the warmth of knowing that somewhere, someone is thinking of you. Because no matter how independent you are, no one thrives in isolation. The heart was made for connection. So reach out, schedule that lunch, make that call, write that message, because the relationships you invest in today will be the ones that sustain you tomorrow. 2. Find purpose. Your life still has meaning. You were not meant to sit in silence, waiting for life to pass you by. You were made for purpose. And purpose is not found in the past, it is found in what you choose to do today. Mentor someone who needs your wisdom. Volunteer for a cause that stirs your heart. Start something new, something that excites you, something that reminds you that you are still growing, still evolving, still alive. Because life does not lose meaning when you age. It loses meaning when you stop giving yourself to something greater. 3. Practice gratitude. The secret to a joyful heart. Happiness is not about what you have lost. It is about what you still have. The morning sun on your skin, the sound of laughter in the distance, the simple joy of a warm cup of coffee, of a quiet moment, of a peaceful heart. Because gratitude is not just an emotion, it is a choice. And when you choose to see life through the lens of thankfulness, something powerful happens. Your heart opens, your spirit lightens. And suddenly, even the smallest moments become beautiful again. Soulful reflection, the power of a full heart. A full heart creates a full life. A heart that is connected, purposeful, and grateful beats stronger, lives longer, and carries more joy than regret. So as you step forward into this season of life, ask yourself, am I living with an open heart? Because it is never too late to love more, to give more, to feel more. And when you do, when you truly embrace the power of connection, purpose, and gratitude, you will realize something extraordinary, that the best years of your life were not behind you. They were waiting for you all along. There is a moment in life when we begin to question what's next. We've built careers, raised families, navigated challenges, and overcome hardships. We've spent years pouring our energy into responsibilities, into others, into the expectations that life placed upon us. And then the world starts to whisper, telling us that our time is winding down, that our greatest contributions are in the past, that it's time to step aside and let the younger generations take the lead. But here's the truth they don't tell you. Purpose is not tied to youth. It is tied to experience, to wisdom, to resilience. Some of the most profound contributions in history were made not in the early years of life, but in the later ones. Laura Ingalls Wilder published her first book at 65, proving that storytelling is not bound by age, but by experience. Peter Mark Rodgett, the creator of the Rodgers Thesaurus, completed his most influential work at 73, a reminder that the mind never stops searching for meaning. Mary Delany, at the age of 72, began creating intricate botanical collages, works of art so precise and detailed that they are still studied today. Fauja Singh, at 89, ran his first marathon, challenging the world's perception of physical limits. None of them allowed age to dictate what they could or could not do. They understood something that so many people forget. Purpose is a choice. And as long as you are still here, as long as you are still breathing, you still have something to give. Because life does not suddenly lose meaning at 60 or 70 or 80. The only time life loses meaning is when you stop looking for it. The power of purpose, why your later years can be your most impactful. There is a reason so many people feel lost after retirement. Not because they no longer have energy, not because they are no longer capable, but because for years they tied their purpose to work, to obligations, to the roles society assigned to them. And when those roles were no longer required, they mistook it for the end of purpose itself. But here's what they don't realize. Purpose does not disappear, it evolves. It shifts from building a career to building a legacy. From raising children to raising wisdom, mentoring, guiding, sharing. From achieving personal goals to helping others reach theirs. And sometimes purpose is not about what you can do for the world, but about what you can do for yourself. Rediscovering old passions, exploring new talents, finding joy in places you never had time for before. Because purpose is not something that is given to you, it is something you create, and you are never too old to create it. Breaking the myth. Your body is still capable of strength. Another lie we've been told, that aging means our bodies will inevitably fail us, that we should expect weakness, expect frailty, expect to lose the ability to move freely. But if that were true, how do we explain those who are still hiking at 80, still cycling at 90, still lifting weights at 100? Science has proven that muscle can be rebuilt at any age, that mobility can be improved, that strength is not about youth, it is about use, because the body's not weakened with age. It weakens when it is neglected. Studies have shown that people in their 60s, 70s, even 80s who engage in regular strength training can regain the muscle mass of someone decades younger. That walking daily can cut the risk of chronic disease by nearly half. That stretching, movement and balance training can prevent falls, one of the greatest threats to independence in later years. So if you believe your body is too old to be strong, too tired to be active, understand that it is not age holding you back. It is the belief that you cannot start now. And that belief, it is wrong. You can start today, you can start small, but the most important thing, you can start. Because the body, just like the mind, is waiting for you to ask more of it. And when you do, it will respond. Your story is not over. Make every page count. Every person has a story. Every life is a collection of chapters, some filled with joy, some with struggle, some with moments that tested our strength, and others that revealed just how strong we truly are. But there is one thing every story has in common. It is not over until it is over. And as long as there is another sunrise, as long as there is another day, as long as you wake up with breath in your lungs and the will to keep moving forward, your story is still being written. What will you do with the pages that remain? Will you let them be filled with waiting, with regrets, or will you fill them with new beginnings? Because purpose is not lost with age, strength is not lost with time, and the next chapter, it is still yours to write, so write it well. Make every page count. Aging is not measured in years, it is measured in moments. In the moments you choose to move instead of sit, in the moments you choose to learn instead of accept, in the moments you choose to wake up with purpose instead of waiting for time to pass. Because the truth is, life does not slow down unless you let it. And no matter where you are right now, whether you're in your 50s, your 60s, your 70s or beyond, your story is still unfolding. The next chapter is not about what you have lost, but about what you still have to gain. The question is, what will you do with the time that is left? Because here's the thing, the world will keep moving. The days will keep passing, but how you live them, that is your choice. Will you fill your days with strength, with curiosity, with purpose? Will you continue to move, to think, to grow, to connect? Will you wake up tomorrow knowing that you have more to give, more to experience, more to become? Because here is the most important truth you need to hear today. It is not too late, not to get stronger, not to sharpen your mind, not to build new relationships, not to discover a new purpose, not to live the life you deserve. You have the power to make the years ahead the best they have ever been. So what will you do next? Will you let this message inspire you for a moment and then move on? Or will you take action? Because right now, in this very moment, you have a choice. A choice to commit to yourself. A choice to stop believing the lies that aging is a decline and start believing the truth, that aging is a privilege, a transformation, a second chance. So here's what I want you to do. If this message has spoken to you today, if it has awakened something inside you, I want you to take action right now. Drop a 1 in the comments below if you are ready to reclaim your health, your mind, and your purpose. Tell us, what is one small change you will make today to live a healthier, more vibrant life? Because when you put it in writing, when you share it, you are making a commitment, not just to yourself, but to a community of people who are on this journey with you. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to this channel. Because this is not just a video. This is a movement to redefine aging. A movement to empower you with the knowledge, the motivation, and the inspiration to live fully every single day. So hit that like button if this message resonated with you. Subscribe if you are ready to make the years ahead the best of your life. And remember, you are not done yet. Your best years are still ahead, and the next chapter, it's waiting for you to write it. So make every page count.